Nobel Gundam. What's up everybody, Robert184, 2Rs2Bs, Gundam.tk, the Nobel Gundam. The high-grade Future Century kit is all put together, and it's time to take a look at the parts because Bandai did a very good job of designing these, and some of the engineering that was used, fantastic. As always, this is unpainted except for the fact that I used the lining markers here, and the occasional Gundam marker just to touch up the blue and the red and the yellow when you get your cut gouge marks on there. And I also used a black Gundam marker to fill in the shoulders, as you'll see. From the main body, you're going to have the feet separate from the legs, the waist section, a lower waist section, chest, arms, head, and what was that? Yes, a cooling fin for the hair. These are the only weapons you're going to get, 4 different lengths, 5 in total, and you can see that they're just attached on there, and you're also going to get that weight to stick on the bottom of the ribbons. Finally, the 2 God Gundam manipulators. You've got 3 extras for the Nobel and the semi-translucent white base with the gray part that attaches on. This is a custom part that you can only use for the Nobel Gundam. Bottom to top, with the legs, you're going to have this much mobility at the knees, so don't expect any fancy sliding mechanisms or anything there. But this part up here where you attach it is quite impressive. It's pretty much split into half with 2 parts here. No polycaps in this whole kit, although there are polycap-like parts in the shoulders, but otherwise I'm struck here by just how simple the construction is. Just slap 2 pieces on here, 1 big thing there, and this whole ankle is 1 piece. At the bottom you've got the most unique feet in all of Gundam with the high heel effect here. Now, one thing I wasn't too crazy about is just the fact how easy it is for this to pop out, but on the other hand you'll notice that this is able to slide all the way back, so you're going to have that. So everything is able to move fairly independently, and you're going to get a fair range of motion. Just going to be hoping that it stays in place. Again, the simpleness of the design of the Nobel Gundam just shines through here in the waist section. You've just got a big blue part that you slap on there, and then you put this little ribbon on, a little bit of black lining. These side skirts are able to bend up all the way, which should allow a full set of splits, and you'll notice that everything is offset here when you're attaching the hips on. The front part here, this is something that if it seems like, and if this was an old kit from the 90s, which the Nobel never got, that there would have been just all white here and a sticker maybe, but that's actually a red piece that you plug in here, so little details like that, all plus so far. Something else that's very unique for this, unlike the 00 Gundams where they've been putting this on a pivot mechanism that rotates this way, this one is going to go up and down, which is going to allow for some of the very female poses. This chest is just ridiculously cute though. When you're putting it all together, fairly simple construction, although you've got some interesting non-poly caps here for the shoulder mounts. You put on this black part, this blue part on the back as one solid piece, and then put a sticker on here, and on here you're going to have to be pretty careful to get everything lined up just right. And this green sticker on here, when I zoom in here with the camera on macro, that's not looking all that great, but from a distance you'll have no problem with that. I thought I'd have to paint it to make it look good, but nope, quite content with it the way it is, and you just slap a little red sticker around the neck just for an added bling. For the arms, the first thing you'll notice is that you're not going to get much more than a 90 degrees on the elbows, so again, like the knees, nothing fancy, but then again, the joints come across as looking slender and good, keeping with the motif of the whole suit. The shoulder part here, I sort of like the way it has like a polycap-like part in here. You just slap 2 blue parts around there, then put this yellow part in, that's got some black ink in it. But then you have this white part here that just connects in and makes everything go well. And something that I noticed about these manipulators is you'll see how offset and girly they already are. So that's built right into it. Hard to have them going straight down. The other manipulators are just closed fists that you're able to put the ribbons in, 1 in each hand, and you're going to get the John Lennon peace symbol here. Incredibly simple beam sabers, and I quite like the way you attach it. All you do is they even give you a cute little ruler in the instruction manual, but you bend down about 2 or 3 millimeters here, bend it back, and then that just spreads out, which does just enough to keep that in quite securely. I'm loving these action bases that they keep including with this. Again, you have this lengthener, and you can either go Superman style or just having this straight up. Quite a unique part here though, the way that it's angled and the way that it's going to fit in there. I don't think that's going to work for any other Gundams. But overall, I really hate the 1/144th action bases just because they have that really poor connecting piece in between the 2 of them that falls apart all the time, whereas this one is a lot more stable. So with the Brave, the Quanta, and a whole bunch of kits, all of a sudden the number of these that I have has just increased a lot lately. Finally, I thought the head was just a fantastic build the way you put this all together. I like these giant red parts that you're getting now where the goatee and the eyepiece is just one thing, and that forms the whole basis for you to put the neck attachment on. And after you add the white part, which has some lining that gets pretty much covered up by these little hair-like things that are coming down here. But these yellow parts slap on left, right, and then you just put the whole head parts on here. You're going to have to be a little bit careful with your lining. I should have done a better job, but overall, the effect is almost 100% positive. And finally, a luxurious head of hair that any hair shampoo commercial for women would be proud of. This is actually two pieces. You're just going to attach this on here. And I like that you have this double connector, so I'm hoping it's going to be a solid fit when you plug this ball part in and then plug that peg into the bottom. I didn't do a great job with the lining, could have been better. I used a Real Touch on parts, just regular lining marker on the others. But something I'm not too crazy about is on all the box art and everything, this is actually like if you take Gundam's shields, often the pros will paint the inside gray, which I have no complaint about, but they also do that here for the hair, which wouldn't be hard with just a gray spray can, but I sort of seem to like the idea of the gold hair showing through when you look at it from the front, but until we put it together I'm not quite sure if that's the right call yet. Completely just based on the parts, it was a fantastic build. Doesn't take a lot of time because of the lack of weapons, but the way they designed the legs, the simplicity, and the way they keep the sleekness and everything in here without actually having any detriments to the design of the overall Gundam makes me pretty positive that this should work out when we put it all together. So stay tuned for the next part, everybody, and we can see if that bears true. And as always, thanks for watching. Robert184 Gundam.tk. See you next time, everybody. You know, I understand her disappointment in not getting Domon, but, I mean, running off with a guy who's shaped like a bell seems a little forced to me.